In the air to right, and he did it again!
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe and follow.
Welcome back to the Lefties 2 broadcast. We got Clash Season 2 Pearl Conference Week 3. It is finally here after waiting for these games to be played. So let's first go into the standings to kind of see where we're at with the Pearl Conference. All right, here we go, Pearl Conference. Now, taking a look at the Pearl Conference, Brian, 4-0. I'm telling you, that offensive lineup has done him wonders. Colt 3-1, Evilprime 3-1, myself 3-1, MentalMidget 2-2, Marco 1-3, Dennis and Eijun both 0-4. Eijun again has 3 forfeits under his belt, but spoiler alert, there is no breaking news. He played his games here in week 3. So let's get into the very first series right now. All right, here we go. First one, Paul's MentalMidget versus what it says Luna, but this is Eijun. And again, this is going to be on Eijun's YouTube channel. He has music. I'll get copyrighted and demonetized. So we're going to play with my voice. And it's from the home perspective of Luna, as you can see, Luna, aka Eijun. And again, Paul 1-3, 0-4. So this is really big when it comes to playoff implications. And hoping for the next game to be from Paul's perspective. So we'll check it out. Now, again, 0-4 is Eijun starting out, which is okay because, he has forfeited 3 games, which is not okay, but it's still early in the season. So a couple wins here can really, obviously, if he gets 2 wins in this series and sweeps Paul, he goes to 2-4 and Paul goes to 1-5. Thus, catapulting him above Paul. And then, of course, we'd have to find out and see if the other 1-3 player gets some W's. We'll find out shortly after this week here. One quick out, ready to go. Eijun trying to get his first W of the season, and he's got one of his aces, namesake Luna. And again, he is the sponsor of this league, so we're hoping that it does come through as he's showing bunt here. One thing Paul has to realize is that Eijun doesn't throw a hell of a lot of strikes. So just got to be patient at the plate here and not trying to force anything, especially with never mind, just let it go by, right? Let it go by. Again, Luna is one of those pitchers that not a lot of people have yet at level 14. She's starting to get a little bit more push for it. But it's going to look like a 3-up, 3-down type of inning in game 1 here. Series 1. Pearl League Conference. Paul going with Eric here in game 1. And we have a little bit of a disconnection. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Now, again, in any kind of big disconnection, not like that. Oh, we come back again. Looks like Paul is the culprit here with his poor internet. But again, no harm done. We'll see actually if there is any harm done in this game as we wait for the connection server. Again, we got to show it because if there's a big error, they have to stop the match and go right back to it. So no outs, no pitches thrown. So no harm done at all. So he's leading off with Luna. Doesn't work here. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now that could be a tilt, impatient, disconnected, but we'll see here as the game goes. But again, there's no harm done. No pitches were thrown. No outs were made during the disconnection. So no reason to restart it there. Just kind of a nuisance. As Jessica goes gapper, opposite field gap. And not going to be able to get 2 with Phoenix there in left field. So 0, level 14, boom, perfect timing. And it was a ball. So this is gotta go 3. There's an error there. This is where he probably should have gone 2 with that, knowing that Jessica would have a little bit of a head start. But Paul is already in trouble here in the bottom of the 9th. Runners are going. Interesting strategy, but putting the pressure on. Bunt! And whoa, Paul's not thinking at all. All right, game 1, quick one goes to Luna, aka Eijun. All right, here we go. Game 2. This one is in Paul's perspective. Again, another silent killer. Now, again, to Paul's credit, a lot of times people will do the fake run home. But that one was a toughie. Real interesting bunting with Tom. You don't expect it. Obviously, Tom is slow, so the potential of getting a double play. Jessica at level 14 has that speed. So, that's the first pitch bombsicle. Whoa, here we go. Eijun putting on the pressure early. And again, that first game was in Eijun's YouTube, is on Eijun's YouTube channel. I'm going to post his link in the description. Now, again, Paul, aka MentalMidget, 1-3 coming into this week. Now 1-4, tied. He is tied with Eijun as 1-4. With Eijun has the tiebreaker, so Paul's moving down. And again, Marco, I think, is 1-3 also to start the season, going 0-2 week 1 and splitting with myself. So we'll see how he does in his series. But here we go. Jiro keeps it going. Dangerous hitter. Again, top 2 hitter player in the game overall. In my opinion, is definitely one of the most dangerous epic. Not epic is legendary, but just epic in general. Tom not getting it done this time, though. That leadoff home run coming up big. Harper, another level 14 Harper. You don't see this every day with 219 power. And again, not really a great matchup for Harper as her power. There's the steal. Nice job. Get it done. Nice job. All right, so Paul's got to get it done here as he's down 1-0 early. But guys, take some notes here with Eijun. He does like to get those runners in motion, no matter what the scenario. And taking a screenshot of Josh, I'm not sure about that. But anyways, it's up to him. He can do whatever he wants. All right. Oh, look at that. Okay. Chasing. That's a good pitch, man. Tough. Like that slider is so slow. If you do make contact, as you know, Paul is going with the auto bat. So already at a slight disadvantage there. And again, Eijun with the 2 best pitchers, two of the best pitchers in the game at level 14. So let's see if he can utilize it here. Trying to go for a second win of the season, put him at 2-4. Be a solid effort if he can get it here. All right, pops it out. There's another quick out there. Try to make that a bat a little bit better. But this is again, man. This is a player where auto bat doesn't really work, in my opinion. This is a great player way to be able to really try manual. Because look at that. He swung at a strike, laid on a changeup, man. It's there. Got to get the timing down. Swinging at a ball. You got to know the slider. Justin Verlander. Josh's worst pitch of his repertoire. And he slows him down with the strikeout. Tough one there. All right, down to his last out here. Paul has to get it done or he's going to get swept. And, hopefully, he'll have some opportunities here to get some more W's. The season's long. And, his pitching is pretty decent. So that really helps out. Just a couple of his decision making here and there. As a little soft ground out. So Eijun gets the sweep here. And we're going to go to Series 2. All right, here we go. Game number 1, Series 2. Myself and Colt, I am going to be pitching first. This is from Colt's perspective. And I'm going to give you a little inside info. This is the 3rd time I've had to try to record this game. So I'm really just kind of tired of talking about this game. But I'll do my best to kind of keep you entertained. Mei-Ling, 2-0 to start the season. Pretty good for me, man. Making a lot of deceptive pitches. Yeah, but Colt is someone different, man. This is a rematch of obviously same conference in Scarlet last season, season 1, where I did have the upper hand when we played one game, and then of course a rematch of the conference finals to kind of let everyone know that I came victorious and won the Scarlet Conference and a trip to the championship. That was pretty solid. And I get the quick out there. That's nice to see. And then, but Colt, great player in his own right. One of the top American players in this game, I would have to say. representing Baseball Bros, which is right now the second best American club overall, which is good to see. So it's, battle of some titans from at least an American standpoint, where you got the Padres and Baseball Bros and Lefties too, which is still not on that level. Still, I'm pretty good. Quick 2 outs, man. So you want to see. Again, that Fox one he was on it. Full count. And Kaya, a dangerous hitter here, summoning the power gods. And first pitch, try to get the fastball over, but look at that timing. That's a best case scenario. It probably could have been a home run, but not happening. All right, Jordan, level 14, Jordan. Again, 209 contact, 192 power, 196 speed, and fielding is opposite field hitting, 2-out hitting. So, he's not dead yet. And with some of these players in this game, getting that 3rd out is difficult, especially when you're only dealing with 3 pitches. It makes it tough, man. Having that legendary pitcher is crucial, which I'll have in the next game. I'll have Murdoch, but Murdoch is not one of my better pitchers. Does have good spin to kind of go with Nia, so that might help. But right now, we're trying to get out of this inning. And Murray's up, 3-1 count. So we got to get out of this one somehow. As his cursor is expanded, he looks at strike 2. So the runner is going to be on the move, or at least Jordan is. And it's a ball, and he's able to muscle it in, scoring the first run. And that is 3 2-out hits in a row. That's kind of not fun. All right, Koo, what you going to do, Koo? Opposite field. That's called payback, man. I had Koo on my team last season doing some damage against Colt, and he's paying me back there. But again, 2 runs. 2 runs with 2 outs here, 4 straight hits. Ryan's coming up here, so we should be able to get this guy out. With a quick strike, 1-1 count. Again, 2 runs, not too difficult to come back. A little bloop and a blast as Ryan gets it past Martina. Didn't make the play, not known for her glove. So that one is a toughie. Mueller up to bat, but again, 2-0. Not impossible with the pitcher up here. Level 13 pitcher, so we do have the advantage. And quick 0-2 count. All right, let's get out of this one. Wasted pitch, right? Trying to get him to look outside. We should bust him inside. And again, I wish that was a little bit closer, but that's the pitch I wanted him to swing at. So kind of go back to work here. And now 2 outs, full count, bases loaded. Runners are in the move, or on the move. And couldn't get him to swing through that one. Again, good hitter, man. Making good late contact. And we couldn't get him swinging through the changeup. And Mueller is going to keep adding an insult to injury. What is that now? That's 6. Is that right? Let's see. 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 straight 2-out hits. 7 straight 2-out hits. Yowzers. Wow. Okay. That's not fun. All right, back to the top of the lineup in Fox. And he bloops one in to keep it going, 6-0. And again, these runs are definitely going to help during a possible tiebreaker. First tiebreaker this season, of course, it makes more sense. It's head-to-head, whereas the runs come in second. So, no reason to keep on, not to keep adding, because it does help if you do split and you have the same record. So that would be crucial, which Colt and I currently have the same record. Finally get out of that one. It says 9 2-out hits, but I think it was 8. Regardless, Murray's at bat changed the whole trajectory of that inning. Got Hanzo leading off for me. Probably going to make a change going into the next several weeks. Not like in my strategy with Hanzo batting leadoff. Kind of a wasted at bat in a sense. So, no big deal as we keep it going. 1 out. That was a perfect strike, too. Not a bad swing. And looking at Robinson, again, Robinson doesn't have his skill in friendly matches. So it doesn't matter. It's kind of use him loaded up or not. But Quick out there as I 2 strikes I swung at, nothing happening. Antonio coming up here with 2 outs. Okay, so he had 2 quick outs at his at bat. Antonio to the window, to the wall. Interesting glitch double from Colt's perspective. Yeah, on my perspective, I'm running the bases. All right, get some runs back. The least we can do is like one reason to kind of try is to get those outs, which is to kind of close that potential tiebreaker gap. So if you can get some late runs, even if you're down 6-0, it's going to be a crucial for that tiebreaker. Strike 2, can't spit on that ball pretty much. Change up low, swinging at it. King doesn't work out. The Colt gets game 1, 6-0. Not too bad. Good job, Colt. All right, let's get that game 1 taste out of my mouth here. As you can see, Nia's batting leadoff now, and Colt's going to be going with Fernandez, as from my perspective. And spoiler alert, oh, never mind. Hit a strike. Much the same. Hanzo hits a strike. Nia hits a strike. Goes to the shortstop, gets the out. But back to my spoiler alert. I'm actually pretty good at hitting Fernandez. So I like my matchup here. I just don't like my pitcher. So yeah. All right, there we go. And again, I'd seen Colt play quite a bit and obviously commentate on all these games. And I know Colt likes that little outside and away to righties. So we're gonna be sitting on that corner. Anybody else watches this that are in this game, just pay attention. What? All right. Wow. Okay. Swinging at strikes. And Murdoch is on the way up. Wow. Okay. Well, so much for that game, right? Swing, hit strikes, ice arm works out pretty well. Murdoch, level 14. That does help a little bit. But Colt, again, great, great player in this little game we have. 0-2 counts. We got to find a way to get 3 outs here. Otherwise, we're getting swept and on the verge of going. He hit a strike there, folks. So little payback. We both hit strikes. I believe he hit a strike even in game 1, so we're kind of even with our least leadoff batters. Baseball Clash does not like any of us in that leadoff. But again, if I lose, I'll be 3-3, and Colt would be 5-1 on the season. Neville squeezes one past Hanzo. It's like Dexter, man. Doesn't do his job at short. Hanzo doesn't do his little spinny thing. Not that it might have helped with 232 speed with Neville, but Ty is now up, summoning the contact god. We're going to get one out, 2. All right, double plays for both people. There we go. Says, all right. So look at that. Little Simon, anything you could do, I can do better. Or the same. And King, told you, man, he likes that outside corner. No justice there. Now we're time to add up. Here we go. We got 1 run. And then you guys know my, whoa. You guys know my thoughts, man. In extras, you got to get minimum 3. You can't sit there and be happy with 2. He likes that outside corner, man. You got to love it. You got to have good patience, good discipline, understand the strike zone, because he just keeps on going. And again, with Fernandez, that if you swing at that and it is a ball, you're going to roll over and it's going to be like a ground out most of the time. So imperative to know the strike zone there, especially with Fernandez and that ice arm. And we got a little blooper. Durant didn't get a chance to swing in that first game, but coming through here in game 2, I think in the season he's so far batting 1,000 here in game 6. And nothing going there. As Ruth up the middle, striking, great timing. Probably not the best connection, but still having that great timing, able to get through with an RBI. We got our 3, and it might be speed's going to help us out there. Not a bad idea from Colt's thought going to that run. We're going. Great job. Way to pick us off on that one. And Hanzo's coming up. 2 outs now. Try to get the runner in motion. Good eye, man. Good job, man. And Hanzo switching around, coming in, getting an RBI. Second hit of the season. What a good strategy by me. All right, Murdoch, let's see if you can keep this going. Got 4. So that's good. Now we can still get that bloop in a blast and slam range. And Murdoch looks like he's going to drop one in as well. There we go. Good timing. All right, back to the top. Nia's up, and she add on. He got 6 in that game. Can I get 6 in this game here in the extra innings? That is what we're looking at here. Inside, 2-0 count. Waiting for that good count. That good strike, that good count. Oh, wow. Good pitch. Laid off it, though. You saw that little quick. Nope. 3-0. Green light. Green light. Blooper. But to the gap. And I don't know about this one. Hanzo's going to go. Ryan. What? That's some bullshit. Murray's not even on the plate. Hanzo's. That could hurt us. That extra little motivation right there. And we're only going to get. Oh, Hanzo backdoored him. Nice spot. That looked like Tuffy right there. Because no one's at first base. We had to go 2. You saw where Martino was at. She's right behind the second baseman. So we had nowhere to go. All right, got 1 out. That's key, though. So that run at, again, it's the differential of 6-4 right now. And we're going to get 1. Can we turn it? Got it. 2 double plays. Okay, split. Good job. There we go. Third series. Dennis from the Padres, and this is from Marco's perspective. If you guys seen the last couple of videos, Marco is super fidgety with his volume and checking everything. It's just kind of annoying. But benefit is we do have some volume, so we get a little background music. And Dennis is 0-4 to start the season. Marco is 1-3. So this is a big series for both players. As we saw that Paul got swept by Eijun, so Paul's now 1-5. So again, top 6 in each conference makes the playoffs, where Eijun is 2-4, Paul 1-5. So this is a huge series to kind of Marco has a chance to, at least get closer to separate, get 3 wins if he gets both, or Dennis to get on the win in the win column. So lot riding here in week 3, right? Week 3 can really separate or can keep you within that same distance. And Dennis is struggling a little bit here, but going with the bunt, not a bad idea with Alexander. But Dennis hasn't been playing too bad overall, but just kind of running into some tough competitors out there. And there's 3 quick outs. Marco's pitching with Caroline. Not too bad. Caroline, a lot better this week than last week. All right, so Dennis is going to be going with Roger here, level 14. And I was doing a little checking, and Marco, this is on his YouTube page, but it looks blurry because Marco, for some reason, loaded this up in 360p. So I thought it was my end, but nope, it is old school. And quick out there. Quick outs. Number 1 here, game 1. Can we get this going? All right. Again, bottom of the 9th inning. So Marco gets a little dinger, gets that W, second W on the season. Low curveball. Good eye there. 2-0 count. And again, Marco had a great game against myself when he just destroyed Murdoch. And there you go. Poor defense at shortstop with Alexandra. And that's what happens, man. And you put people that are not typically in the right position, errors do happen. Not too much in this game, but enough to where it happens the worst possible time. All right, but ground ball here, gets out of it. Marco's going with the manual bat. Got to respect that. Got to like that. And can't lay up that inside curve. Again, here we go. So, once again, turn off notifications, bro. Very simple. turn it back on when you play. Swinging at a bad pitch, but a runner in the scoring position, 2 outs. That's the winning run there at second base. Lays off that curveball. So hopefully Dennis can put together that inside curveball that he swung at a couple times with Chris. So 2-1 count. Let's see if he goes back to it. And he goes inside fastball, which won't make that inside curve appealing. And oh no, gotta go. 2 errors. That one doesn't count as an error, but that's an error. Marco wins game 1. All right, game 2. Marco and Dennis again. We're stuck with the 360p. Dennis, man, 0-5 on the season. Really needs to get a win here. Rockin' Wade. So Wade beats Shitaro. That's going to be Marco's perspective once again, as he's the away team in this one here in the top of the 9th inning. Man, again, Dennis isn't playing bad, man. Just, you got 2 errors in that last game. One that didn't count as an error, but Bill Buckner, regardless. So, you can't do nothing about that, right? You pitch it, they hit it, and the defenders do whatever they want. So losing on that kind of way is just disappointing. And that's why you got to really do the things in this game where you can control the best of your abilities. And again, I preach manual batting because it's something that is more skill than luck. That's it. All right. So that's it. And then, hopefully you make good enough pitches where your opponent messes up, right? Try to force some errors. But there you go. Just like that. Get him swinging some garbage. And batting lineup has changed. Taro batting second here. But not too bad. And Marco, man, he's a second win of the season. So he moves to 2 in, let's see, what is it? He was 1-3, so 2-3. So with a win here, obviously he goes to 3-3, which is going to be huge for him going into the week 4 next week. And Dennis, still again, 4 weeks to go, 8 games to play. You just got to get into the 6th place, right? Paul, 1-5 to start the season. Eijun, 2-4. And honestly, with 3 forfeits, you never know with that guy. So, we could be in a long season, man. Long season coming up. Big Willie Styles, hit it. Got the music as well. So there you go. Lead off was Willie. Nice job. Up the middle shot. Now again, this time Dennis is in the same spot as where Andre was. Andre. He's on the bat. Where Marco was in game 1. All right, get the outs in the top and then come in the bottom with runners on base. Chance to win it. A little walk-off. All right, 1-2 count. Shitaro getting it done here. And he's going to pick him off. Nice job there. Interesting spot. Little weird emoji. But again, I guess appropriate. You can't steal on Shitaro and gets him swinging at he swung at 3 balls in that one. So that's a tough at bat. And again, a lot of times when you're playing these games, you get kind of nervous going with that bunt again. Couldn't make contact with that one. But, you're trying to force the issue, right? You get frustrated, try to get that first win of the season. And now you're just swinging out of your shoes, which is not good against Taro because that velocity does climb. And hopefully next week, Marco can do some better resolution. Because it is kind of blurry, man. We're in 2025. 1080p or higher. I don't expect 4K, man. Or even 8K. Just get me some 720. I don't care. It's something here. Look at Sega Genesis pixels, like 16-bit. All right, but we got runners on base, of course. Top of the 10th. Swinging at Gabbage. Can we get 1 out? We got 1. Can we get 2? Got 2. Good job, Dennis. Way to get it done there. Action Jackson coming up. Got the leading run sitting there at third base, 90 feet away. Jackson, predict the future and get that run across. 2-0 count. Again, Jackson predicts the pitch, not the location, which, it's a fastball. Doesn't mean it's a strike. That'd be kind of better if you predicted the pitch in this as if it was a strike. All right. Dennis does a good job again here. Come on, Dennis. You gotta get the pitches that are strikes. Don't need to force the issue, okay? As he tries to pick off move again. This time, no hit and run, or in this case, run and swing and a miss in play. Come on, dude. That's like, you look at this game, so far he's swung probably at all balls, and he does it again. It's triple play action. 1 out, 2 out. Little able to get it done. And come on, man. I don't know what you're doing, bro, but you're swinging at garbage, and it's not helping, okay? Not helping to swing at garbage. Oh, boy, boy, boy. Okay, so they're all balls, man. Gotta, again, to say the least, good eye there. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 1 on. You play with money on the line. It's a little bit harder. You're less relaxed, a little more stress added to the game. Top 11. And got to go to Marco with the weird air there. Don't know what he's thinking on that one. And a little blooper. See, base running errors really put you in a bind because that should be bases loaded right there. The Andy Man can. See if he can come through with 2 outs. 2 out hit here in the top 11 would be huge. Would be huge because Dennis hasn't swung at a strike this whole game. Hopefully Marco's paying attention to that. You don't got to feel sorry for your opponent. He isn't like make your opponent look foolish. Right? Marco's not swinging at many strikes either, so this is a pretty bad hitting display for both players as Dennis gets him to swing at garbage also. This is a pitiful game, man. Pitiful game. But here we go. Dennis with a little blooper here. Oh boy. Okay. Stupid defensive play there. And back Joe, little Joe. Got a double play on that one. Swinging at balls. Jesus Christ, man. Just let a couple pitches go by. He's not throwing you strikes. Not throwing you strikes, bro. Holy shit. Wow. We're going to the 12th inning. Like, if we were playing a drinking game and I had to drink at any time someone swung at a strike, I'd be sober, man. 10 years sober. I'd be 10 years sober in this game if I had to wait for a strike to be swung at. Hey, look at this guy. 2 straight pitches looked at. Do we make it 3? Hey, drink. He swung at a strike. A little late. Prize to everybody. All right. This is the 12th inning, guys. So got to figure out what's going to happen here. And again, just let you know, up the middle, we got to go 1. Got to go 2. Swung on a strike 2. Perfect timing. Just bad hitter. All right, so if there's a tie, we're going to a game 3, and all the stats count. So that is crucial, and Dennis has a chance. Dennis has a chance for the walk-off. Again, we have not had a tie at all, right? Oh, my God. 20 years sober. Hey! All right. Oh, never mind. Take it all back. There's his first strike he's throwing all 4 innings of this game, and he finally swung and he got it and missed it. Wade, what you gonna do, Wade? All right. Strike 2. Oh, don't throw a strike, bro. Don't even bother. Strike 3. All right, Willie, he started this game off hitting the actual ball that went up the middle for Dennis. Guys, we just had a tie. That is a tie. We're going to game 3. It kind of rolls over. Let's go. All right. Should be that same exact players. Again, first tie in the history of ties, and we play it the same exact way, right? So essentially, this is the 13th inning, even though it's the 9th. So we got extra baseball. Ricky swings at a ball. Holy shit. This is 5 innings of this so far. Oh my God. Guys, just fast forward through all this. This is miserable. I don't even care who wins this game. This is by far, like even the Star Carnival games. Going to Star Carnival where they're swinging at garbage at level 9. This is by far the worst rated game in the history of games ever. Like, do not watch this game. If you're still here watching this full game 2 of the 3rd series, you and me, we can go have ourselves a suicide pact and just drink the Kool-Aid because this is some hot garbage. Essentially 5 innings of this. Just pathetic baseball. And again, you can't really change the batters. Willie got the last out and he's back up, so it all counts because we got to have a winner. No ties and no crying in baseball. But Willie got 2 hits. Back up there. Okay. Andre, can he get it done? Can we get a walk-off strikeout here? Oh, he didn't swing at it. There we go. There we go. Strike 1. Let the strike go by. There you go. Swinging at a strike, though. Can't get mad at that. A little late. Oh, back to the ways. Yeah, this is by far the worst rated game I've ever had to sit through. Bunt. Oh, not a terrible idea. But that was a ball, and that's what happens. You bunt foul balls sometimes. And, of course, not really a necessary dive. Okay. Be like bottom of the 13th inning, essentially. Just wait, man. When is this game going to end? We're going to strike. A little late. That's disappointing because Rosa could have bombed that one. That would have been nice. With Alexander on base, that would have been a nice one. All right. Swinging another ball. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Ball 3, but we're swinging because it's a ball. All right, we're going to the 6th inning of this game. Would be 6 innings of this game. All right. Oh, my God. Please, somebody shoot me. This is it. The fact that it's even worse that it's in 360 resolution is making this even worse with the technology that we are allowed to have. But to have people swinging at so many garbage pitches, he swung at none of those. 3-0 count. Wow, 4 straight balls without a swing. That is impressive. But now we got 1 out with bases are loaded. So we got something threatening for the first time. I take it all back. Take it all back. Take it all back. How did I lose? Murdoch, man, you really put me in a bind on this one. There's not even good pitching in this game. There's 0 good pitching. It's just terrible hitting. 2-1 count. Here we go. And it's a foul ball. That was a swung strike. He got so surprised that it was in the strike zone. He swung late. Oh, runners are going to be moving. This is where the danger happens. Runners are moving. And we got a hit and an RBI. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. We have some action. Holy cow. If you've stayed this long, congratulations. You're in hell. But regardless, the runner is going to be going here. And little soft ball, but can the Andy Man not get there in time? All right, so with all this excitement, Dennis is a home run away from winning this game. But what's better to happen, right? Wait, hold up. Let's pause this real quick. We're going to pause it real quick because I want you guys to put your bets in. I have no idea what's going to happen. None. More strikeouts or a home run. One home run or two or more strikeouts. Back to the action. That's the bet. 2 strikeouts or more or a home run to walk it off. All right. 0-1 count. Swinging out a ball again. Swinging another ball. Interesting spot there. Power hitter coming up. This is the worst game. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. You wait a whole entire week to get this kind of performance in. I'm saying just play the freaking game right away. Right? You get the schedule, play it. Wow. Wow. Uh-oh. All right. We got a runner on third base. Runners in scoring position. Matthew got the good power, that 193 power. Oh, son of a bitch. Yikes. Don't even, he's not throwing you a strike, bro. What the fuck? I'm going to get demonetized on swearing. Game over. Please. Thank you. God awful. God awful. 16 minutes. I'll never get back. Let's go to the Series 4. All right, we got game 1. Brian versus Evilprime. Brian 4-0 in the season. I believe Evilprime 3-1. I don't know. Anyways, it's from Evilprime's perspective because Brian still can't figure out how to start recording before he gets into the game. At least in game 1. I haven't seen game 2 yet. We'll find out. You'll know. But anyways, Evilprime's perspective, he is the away team. Brian is pitching with Garcia. And again, 4-0 start the season. Brian, again, has an offensive-minded lineup this year, and it's still working out for him so far in the first 2 weeks as he's leading the Pearl Conference. Guys, that last series was trash. I am so glad my internet did not screw up the download on that recording, because if I had to do that again, I would have quit. I would have quit, man. It'd been on. It'd been done. I wouldn't have cared. All right. So 2 players that are pretty good, in my opinion, Evilprime here and Brian. So hopefully we're saving the best for last here in week 3. Good pitch to Garcia, level 14 Garcia. So, that sinker ball a little bit more deceptive. Or Garcia, you can see his stats, man. 202, 202, 202. And then with that 0 strikes, the spin is extra 24. So that first strike is super imperative. But Garcia, good pitcher in his own right, pretty consistent, gets the outs there. Quick 1, 2, 3. And Brian looking to go 5-0 to start the season. And Evilprime trying to settle him down a bit here. Evilprime has got to find a way to get out of this. Level 14, Riley, but Riley's been neutered as, there you go, Gina. Nice job there. Get that little speed, little shovel right over. Get that out. All right. So, and he has Rose as the catcher as well to add that extra control for legendary pitchers. So that's a good key thing. Where if you can get 2 legendary pitchers, Rose is gonna add value to the pitcher. Obviously, that is their main skill. All right, just gonna kind of walk Hammer again. This is why Hammer is the number 1 player in the game, in my opinion. People are so afraid to pitch to him, or people are still not afraid to pitch the Giro, because if you just throw off speed, all right, walked him. All right, Dave's pretty dangerous hitter, obviously as well. But a good double play candidate if you can get the ball hit, obviously on the ground. That's 169 speed at level 14, so you're not too afraid of him at all. But of course, even with regular contact and power, it's a home run if hit with solid manual batting with great timing. And right up the middle. everything right, but again, good timing, good contact, good power. That's what's going to happen, man. You're going to get those balls. And again, it goes to Tua. Again, dude, Brian, Mark Hammer, right? Dave, Tua, try to go through that. That's just a tough lineup to get through, especially here early in the ninth inning, man. It's like, what are you doing? All that power. Brian, with that kind of ability, kind of mash the ball. And if he's pitching, because he does pitch well, right? Tua, gonna get that walk-off win here. Game 1 goes to Brian. 5-0 on the season. Nice job, Brian. All right, here we go. Brian's perspective this time. Started the recording a little bit better. Yeah, Brian, 5-0 to start this season. We're in Brian's perspective as he is hitting again. Evilprime was pitching first to start the game. Did these guys mess this up? Nope. I'm right. All right. I'm right. Evilprime was hitting first. Got it. Got it. Because again, the walk-off, right? Makes sense. Now, this time, Brian's hitting. 1-2 count to start this game. Again, what a ridiculous starting five, man. Just Mark's out again. Mark is the worst out of all of them, but you go again, Hammer. You got to be so careful with every single batter. He's got to be precise. Got to have some nasty pitching. And again, with Brian, it's crazy. The dude is an auto hitter and he's getting it done. That's he's an inspiration to show that you can get some W's auto batting if you know the strike zone. Right? Look at that. That's a tight pitch. How's he taking that pitch? That's taken all the way. Because Maria is not that great, to say the least. But yeah, swinging at 3-0 count. All right. So Big Dave, here we go. Going straight away. Diamonds are forever. That's a good pitch. Close pitch. Oh, that slider right there. What kind of Evilprime? Where is he at? Got some lady pads, wetness, dryer. Okay. What an interesting bunch of ads you guys have on. And whatever. Wendy's Wednesday. All right. Cool. All right. And get some swinging. 2-2 count. This is the last game of the week for Pearl as we go to week 4. So the standings haven't been updated yet because Star Carnival is missing a player and just all a shit show with like players in Star Carnival. Just a bunch of terrible ass players that just don't show up. And it's annoying as fuck. With Dave with a nice little, good pitch too. And again, guys, power contact. And in this case, that's really it because that was a ball and that's an auto bat hitter. So early as well. Two outs. All right, mess the timing up a little bit. And a little blooper again. It's two. Again, power and contact. It's so dangerous. That's why the top players in the world, they just don't care about speed. They don't care about defense. They just care about hitting bombs and having that kind of effect, right? Just power, raw power, hitting terrible pitches. And Martin coming up. Man, dude, how do you get through this batting lineup? All right. Because again, Brian does have a weakness, but he's getting wins because he can pitch. And if you can pitch, you can win. And Michelle, so far, 2-0 to start the season. And Brian, got to get out of this one somehow. But Michelle, again, top players can see Michelle a mile away. But if you're pitching like that, right on the edge, it's going to be tough. Evilprime can't get too crazy here. Swinging it like that's what I mean. Swinging at garbage. Wait for the strike. It's Michelle. Level 14 or not, man. Still Michelle. Her strike. Get me over strike right there. Nice curveball. All right, here comes inside. Got the jam sandwich coming in. Lays off it. Too far off the plate as it missed a little bit, obviously, in that cursor. Streamed to the left. And that's a gapper. You're not sneaking a fastball in the strike zone to Evilprime. And Gina's in there. Nice job. Winning run at second base. Good split here will help. Not batting, can't talk. Morgan batting third. Good opportunity here. Level 13 Morgan. Good contact. Good speed. Power, obviously, here in the ninth inning, not there. I wouldn't recommend necessarily having Morgan, but I don't know. I forget who else he has in the lineup, so it doesn't really matter at this point. But good eye, man. Good eye all around. 3-1 count. And opposite field, this could do it. But Mark, it is tied. So Mark has that cannon. Good job. And it's not really too bad throwing with Carlos there at home plate. So good combo. As Wilson comes up, level 14 Wilson, the guy you want to have here in that 4-hole. And this is where, you might want to walk him just to kind of have that any out anywhere. But a double play candidate, he's going to muscle it in. Look at that. Power does it again. And Evilprime gets the split. Let's go to the standings. Okay, so the standings are as follows, right? We don't have it set yet. Don't know why, Matt, who does it, is in school, so he's going to be busy. But let's see if we can figure this out a little bit, at least by the standings, not like exactly what order. But Brian is at 5-1. Colt's at 5-1. Evilprime is at 5-1. Or excuse me, 4-2. So Brian is at 5-1. Colt is at 4-2. Evilprime is at 4-2. I am at 4-2. Mental Midget 2-4. Marco is at 3-3, so he's moving over. So Marco moves to that fifth spot. Mental Midget 2-4 is going to move down to 7 because Eijun has the tiebreaker over him at 2-4 as well. And Dennis is sitting there at 0-6 in the 8th spot. So again, a lot of baseball to be played, and you really just got to get into that 6th spot, get the W. And really, in this, there really could be maybe one spot to try to fight for. And it's possible, right? Check out, I don't know if the schedule's posted. Let's see if the schedule's posted. I'm not sure for week 4 is it posted or not. Let's find out. Nope. We don't even have the schedule. So hopefully for Star Carnival here, as this game in the loser's bracket was not played. So we're hoping that we can have the Star Carnival done by tomorrow. And so we can update everything. Otherwise, thank you for watching another Lefties 2 broadcast. We'll see you next time.